Thank you. Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett and I'm the founder and owner of TechViews and Help, and today I am doing a how-to for Trello. Now, I don't know about you, but every time I hear Trello, I keep thinking about this. So as far as that goes, Trello, what is it? It's basically a site that gives a service where you can keep track of a workflow, you can keep track of multiple things, put to-do list on, a few other things of that nature. It's very simple, very simple to use. There's a free and paid subscription. So I'm using a free, so I won't be able to show anything with the paid side of things. If you have a actual business, I would advise taking a look at the business stuff, because there is an actual reason why you'll go and use that. But as far as me as any developer, as a one-man team, I really don't need the paid stuff. I don't need to keep track of my own workflow in such an extent that a PM keeping track like of 5-10 people might, because keep in mind where I should know how complete I am towards a thing. So as far as that goes, going into here, what is Trello? How can you use it? Basically, going into something that I already got filled out a bit. You need to create a board. If you don't know how to create a board, and I'm surprised you even came to this because it's that simple. Obviously, you need a username and password and all that stuff and log in and whatever, but you need to create your own board. And once you create that, you have an option of making it public, private, or team-based only. So with mine, I tend to use it public, and that way I can just give the link out to, and it's the actual link for the board, so it's no hidden shared link or whatever. Just copy and paste the actual link towards the board itself, and you can give that out, and people will be able to look at it. And if you aren't sure, I suggest copy and paste the link, put it into a different browser, and there you go. And since you're not logged into a different browser, you should be able to see if you can see it or not. So as far as that goes, one of the first things you need to do after deciding the name or whatever is add a list. Adding a list is pretty simple. You just click the add a list and type out the name that you want. So you can change this name, you can change the name of the board, you can change the name of the list, you can change the name of the cards, but within the list you'll be presented with add a card. A card is these things right here. It's what you actually assign the object. So for example, with the list, I got a list of ideas, I got a list of not started, a list of started, done, bugs, and late things. So with that, basically I can have within the list of things I didn't even start yet, things I plan to start, things that I'm forming an idea around, and things I'm started. And that way, say for example, as an indie developer, I can hand this off to some subcontractor, or if I am doing some public software, say a game or whatever, I can hand it off to, say, the consumers, and they can see how far I got with the stuff, so they can say, oh, I want that, or this needs to be higher prioritized or whatever. But basically that way people can see where you're at. And also if you're a PM or have a PM, that way they can keep track of things a lot more. Now, as far as the card itself, it's pretty simple. You just write out whatever, and you can click on the card, and you might notice the colors. The one thing to note with the colors is you go to label, and what you do is you can go down and retitle it, whatever. You can delete the label itself, a given label, and go from there. So let's delete that real quick since I got a double. But basically what I can do is go create a new and type in whatever and pick a color. And basically what this does is This allows me to go into here and say what is this card about. So I could say this one is about the layout, so it's the actual layout itself, so it should be pretty easy. And it's needed before the alpha even comes out. So if I don't have this done, then the alpha can't even come out. The user can't use it. And then what is it like for me? It's status page. So anything related to blue, I can say, okay, this is status page, this is status page, status page. This is checklist, and so on. I can go through all that stuff. So it's fairly easy to do that. So going from here, what I can do is click on say that, and I can go down and add members connected with this. I can add a checklist. As you see here, adding a checklist is pretty simple. Even copy items from an error checklist. But with this, I can add each item onto here that needs to be done to say this is complete, and have the person assigned to or myself go ahead and check whatever and go from there, and easily add item like that. So it's very simple, and I can add multiple checklists. That way, if I'm a PM, I can keep track of what's being done, what's not done. Also, I can go ahead and as just any developer or doing something on the side, I can go away for a couple months, come back and see, okay, I didn't get this done, so I need to do that now. And down below, it shows the activity per the card itself. Now with that, let's go to one that has a comment on it. We can see here there's a comment, so I can edit my comment, delete it, and so on. And I get basically allows me to say what let's go to a different one. So like right here, I just throw a second comment in there, and it says right here is the activity for that, so I can see the most recent activity. And then on top of that, like right here, I can click that and it pulls it straight up, and it shows both comments there. So it's a big thing to keep in mind. And if I wanted to see the comments itself, it's fairly simple. What I can do is just click that, go to comments, and it shows all the comments itself. And if I just want to edit, I can edit from there, or I can simply delete it, and that deletes the comments, and then even deletes it from the activity. That's a big thing to keep in mind. Now, as far as that goes, with having it public and everything, does that mean that anyone can comment? No. So you actually have to set this up, and it's fairly easy. Just basically set up within here, and you can say what you're allowing people to do, people who are logged into Trello, and that way they can comment on it and say if there's a bug or whatever it may be. So going down, you might notice that there's dates on some of these. And by the way, one thing I left out is you can actually add a description. So say, for example, I can say blah, blah, blah. And one thing you'll notice, it adds that little icon. I could take that out, and you can see it takes it away. But we can add due dates. So the due dates, it tells me when I set things should be done, and that way I can keep track of things much easier. So I can say, okay, this date's closer to that, or whatever it may be. Or if it doesn't have a due date, I can say that's not really that important, and these things, the date's getting closer, so let's get that stuff done now if possible, and go from there. So going down, you can add attachments that said move, copy, whatever. And if you want to delete, you can just show more and delete. So as far as that goes, another thing you can do is stickers. I don't really know of an actual good use for them, but you can add as many as you want. Obviously get more if you are on a business class or whatever. To get rid of them, just press that, or you can press E. Sorry about that. Press E, in either case, it'll take you here. You can click on this sticker and you can remove and do that. Again, I don't really see a point in stickers. Maybe it's for a teacher using this for their students. I don't know. Now, one thing to note is you got something called power-ups. Basically, it's just add-ons. And what you can do is you have a calendar add-on that can enable or disable notice that voting, card agent, and stuff like that. So if we go to calendar, we can see when everything is due. So it'll show there. And as far as some of the other voting, so we can vote, you know, we can see that and do whatever and go from there. So let's take off those. But obviously you can get more, and it tells you a little bit here on what you can get. So you can get GitHub workflows. So if you're in coding, which a lot of coders actually do use this, believe it or not. Now you don't need the business class if you're, again, any developer or whatever. But if you're running a team, an actual team of several people, like it's just one or two people, then it might not be worthwhile. But if you got a decent team, then this might help out when you're trying to figure out how far people are in their coding and whatnot. But anyways, as far as that goes, that's pretty much about it. Again, the big thing to note is this is a highly useful tool when it comes to basically keeping track of your workflow. Or just a general keeping track of something, because the big thing with this is for projects like this where I walk away for months on end and come back, I can see, okay, is this done or is this not done? What do I need to do and stuff of that nature, and I can mark bugs. So if I got an actual following for, like, say for example, a given application, I can hand out a link to all the people and say these are the bugs that are known about. So for example, if I was to put a game on Steam or something that's early access or any developer, then what I can do is link everybody to Trello, and that way everybody can see the bugs and even allow certain members to add to the bugs list, and that basically allows you to have a lot better flow. But yeah, there's probably about 2 or 3 other things. I know I'm leaving off, like you can do the filter and cosmetics and stuff like that, but I figured out you pretty much covered that on your own if you got this far. But with that, if you feel like there's something that should be added that I didn't cover, or you want to put something more detailed, go ahead and do that in the comment section. But anyways, leave a like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day.